Hello, church. Many blessings to you on this unseasonably warm November 63-degree Thursday. When I think about this warm, unseasonable weather, it reminds me of two wonderful blessings that we as a congregation were able to experience this fall. When we were able to worship outside together because of the unseasonably warm temperatures. I was so encouraged to worship with you, with many of you who have not worshiped with us since the very beginning of this pandemic. I come to you today to bring you an update regarding our gathering plan in light of the escalation of the coronavirus in these moments. As I'm sure most of you know, our governor and the Department of Health and Human Services has asked that certain activities be curtailed over the next 3 weeks in order to stem the tide and to help flatten the curve of the escalation of the virus. The question that we have to ask ourselves is the question, how can we do our part? And today, as I come to you, I want to let you know the answer to that question and what that looks like for our local church. In consultation with our church board and under the advice of our district superintendent, Dr. Glenn Gardner, we have determined to make the following changes to our gathering plan over the next 3 weeks, at least the next 3 weeks. And then following that, our church board will reevaluate as we go forward. First of all, we will be moving our 9 o'clock mask-required service to the 10:45 time slot. And so what that means is that we will not conduct our 9 o'clock service for the coming at least 3 weeks. And what that also means is that the present 10:45 service, which presently is a service in which we are strongly recommending masks but not requiring them, that service as well will not meet for at least the coming 3 weeks, after which we will make a reevaluation. And so, just to be clear, beginning next Sunday, November the 22nd, and then the 2 Sundays consecutively following that, we will have one service. It will take place at 10:45, and it will be mask required. We'll be asking everyone who attends or who is in the building to wear a mask. Now, we know that there are some in our congregation, some who are unable to wear a mask for medical reasons or feel uncomfortable wearing a mask for other reasons, and we understand. Our desire for you would be that you not unplug during these few weeks, but that you would plug in by going online and being a part of the online service. Many have been a part of that since the beginning of the pandemic. Many who feel very vulnerable, you'll be joining them. And so we would just ask and encourage you to join us online for the coming few weeks. As I think about all this, I know that this pandemic, this time period we've gone through as a country, actually as a world, throughout our world, it's not been easy. It's not been easy for any of us. It's definitely not been easy for me. And I know that wearing a mask, it can downright be annoying. I don't personally like wearing a mask. I do wear a mask because of the importance of just helping to help with this area of what I can do in the midst of this virus. But I just want to remind you that we are simply, by what we're doing, trying to be mindful of our current realities. We want to provide a safe environment in which our congregation can worship. But we also want to be mindful that the non-Christian world is watching us very closely. We want to be mindful of our witness of Jesus Christ and to Jesus Christ and the gospel of Jesus Christ. And we want to be mindful of our good effect upon our community during these moments. I think that our local church has done a tremendous job with our regathering efforts and keeping our congregation safe and moving through these days together. I think we've done a great job in keeping not only our facility safe, but moving forward together in these days and difficult times. Now, while we've had individuals of our congregation who have contracted the coronavirus, to my knowledge, not one of them was infected while here in our worship setting within our building. And not one of them exposed others by being present when they were infected. In these moments, I'd like to take a moment to especially thank those who are some unsung heroes in our congregation, those who are our cleaning crew between the first and second service. They sanitize the building and prepare it for those who come in at 10:45, and by doing so, they keep our facility virus-free. I just want to let you know that we're really trying to do our very best as a pastor and as a leadership team, and these are very challenging days. As you know, opinions span the spectrum when it comes to how to handle the pandemic. And there's absolutely no way to please every opinion or every person, nor should that really be our aim. But I also want you to know that as a pastor and as a leadership team, that we love each one of you, no matter where you lie on that spectrum. We love you. We may not be able to please you, but we love you. And the great question that we continue to ask ourselves and that we need to ask is, what is the right thing for us to do in these moments? And I want to let you know that we're asking that question, for we want to glorify Jesus Christ in everything that we do. And we want to be expressive of the very love of Christ in every action that we take as we seek to build bridges of love that lead to life. We're presently coming to the very end of our series entitled Encouraged out of 1 Thessalonians. In fact, we'll finish it this very Sunday. And I want to encourage you to plug in either online if you can't be with us here in person, or come face-to-face during our mass service as we conclude that series together. And I want to encourage you today that this time and season we're going through, it's very challenging, but it will end. There will be a moment when the storm ceases, the clouds part, and the sun shines again. And when that happens, we will rejoice together in that moment. But in this moment of challenge, I encourage you, don't unplug. Plug in. Let's encourage each other as a church in these days, whether it be through our presence face-to-face or whether it be plugging in online. And my greatest prayer for you as your pastor is this, is that you might, during this difficult season, experience a greater measure of God's grace and peace through Jesus Christ and through the power of His Holy Spirit. So may you know His grace and peace in increasing measure. And we look forward to seeing you this Sunday face-to-face in our mass service, or having you plug in online, which is encouraging to all of us as well. May you increase in grace and peace.